So, we're recording anyway.
Chapter 3. Nobility. Nobility. Come with me, let's dream. Walk across high inside. Open windows to watch him fly. Laugh down through the court one time. Just to take me alive. Chapter 3. Nobility. The memory is nobility. Right with me. Nobility is that dream.
What up, Tucson, Arizona? This is the Call Me Crazy Show, episode 126. I'm very glad to be here, and I want to thank TCCC and Public Access and Marty for making the show possible, and you, the viewers, for making the show possible. The first thing I'm going to mention, talk about, is about U.S. soldier, Sergeant Kevin Benderman. He's a sergeant who served tour of duty already in Iraq, and he was getting ready to deploy in January 5th, but he failed to show up to get ready to go over there, and he chose not to go because he said that it was too nightmarish. War in Iraq was too nightmarish. He said that he cannot stand seeing a sight of another dog feeding off human remains of bodies of women and children and men, and he said that he cannot stand the sight of families, malnourished families, drinking from puddles of mud. So now some of his superiors and peers of Sergeant Kevin Benderman are calling him a coward because he does not want to go back after serving 10 faithful years in the Army. But now after 10 years, he finally said that the war in Iraq was an eye-opener. After seeing all that tragedy, he doesn't want to deal with this. So we'll follow this story more closely as time goes on. And now here's the kicker that I wanted to talk about that Marty talked about on his show a while back, 2 weeks ago on his live show, The End of Television, Friday night, every other week, 9 o'clock. Is that Tucson Citizen editor, Mark Kimball. He's also featured on the Roundtable segment from on Channel 6 on Arizona Illustrated. And me and Marty happened to catch this show last week, and it's mildly interesting. Mark Kimball, I don't say that your show is the worst show of all time, but anyway, Mark Kimball, he's a columnist for the Tucson Citizen also, and he wrote on back in July of last summer, July 2004. Mark Kimball wrote a column about Tucson Public Access, and basically saying in the column that he couldn't find any reason to think of what the good side of public access, if it existed. But he chose rather to dwell on the bad aspect of Tucson public access and he was labeled. He basically talked about some of the shows that Mark Hamill taped that over the prior weeks, and he happened to catch. Guess what, people? He happened to catch in the Tucson Citizen. He happened to catch the Call Me Crazy show. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to do it. The Call Me Crazy show featured a guy sitting in his backyard and rambling. Kathy Lee Gifford is leaving the morning show, and all I gotta say, who gives a flying fuck? Or as in the word of Mark Hamill, featured insert Cheney word. Call Me Crazy read a letter from an observant viewer, and note, people, that Mark Hamill put observant. He basically saying that he's basically putting my show down, our show down. He read a letter from an observant viewer who noted, your cable show has to be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And all I gotta say, Mark Hamill, thank you very much for your compliment and time for featuring the Call Me Crazy show from the Ponder Chitlin production household. So Mark Hamill, I hope you continue on your little rant on whatever it is that you talk about on the round table. And hopefully one day you'll get to see this new episode of the Call Me Crazy show, and maybe you'll get to see a picture of yourself right there. This guy is a viewer of the Call Me Crazy show. If the editor from the if a columnist from the Tucson Citizen can watch the Call Me Crazy show and all the other countless local cable shows, then we must be doing something right. So thank you very much, Mark Hamill. Thank you very much for mentioning the show, and thank you very much, viewers, for staying in tune. I gotta go. I'll see you next week.
When man walked up to God, God said, what is your name? I am no one. I am no one. I am no one. When man went to God and said, who am I? God said, you are no one. You are no one. When the bird went to the man and said, who am I? The man said, you are me. You are me. You are me.